not yet. Please help us protect what we have in Orient. I'm going to share, as they say. My Irish great-grandfather was a dairy farmer in the Bronx. So we all know that agriculture in New York City and points east and west disappears over time. After Orient, there is nothing else. We are the last bastion of that beautiful agricultural heritage that we all admire and that moved so many of us here. So we're just saying, please, Town Board, Southold Town Board, do your duty, take your time, let's all be adults about this, think it through, and we don't want this pipeline yet, not yet.
Good evening. Amal Chaudhry, a full-time resident of Orient, fellow citizens, the Honorable Scott Russell, council members. I'd like to cover 3 items today. Summarize some publicly available data about the finances of the Suffolk County Water Authority, cover some options for interim delivery of clean water to those who need it in Orient, and trends in municipal water quality in the United States. The Suffolk County Water Authority, like all the other 640 authorities in New York State,
could you speak into the mic, please?
Sorry, include the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, better known as the MTA, and the Long Island Power Authority, better known as LIPA. But they draw the same statutes in terms of their formation. They can borrow money, they can use it to invest in their mission, and in the case of the Suffolk County Water Authority, it's clean and drinkable water, pure and drinkable water at a reasonable cost to the citizens of Suffolk County. For the financial year, which is the latest set of audited financials that are available, the Suffolk County Water Authority saw a decrease in overall revenue of $8.5 million. They lost $6.5 million on an operating basis. Okay, their customer base has been relatively flat for the last several years, about a 1% increase. And in these troubled economic times, when a company loses money, you really have only 2 choices. You cut costs, or you increase revenue, right? In terms of cost cutting, the costs that the Suffolk County Water Authority incurred in that fiscal year went up by $30 million, $12 million of which was driven by healthcare, and $1 million by net operating expenses. I will leave a copy of their financials with you, which leaves basically the only option, which is increasing revenue, right? I'll make one other point, which is the authority, like many authorities, has an unfunded liability of $116 million that needs to be funded out of the rate base. $24 million was spent in fiscal 2009 for non-pension post-employment benefits, which basically means participants that have either retired or are out on some other basis, to the tune of $24.293 million. So for the 904 participants at the Water Authority, that's roughly $26,000 a year per participant in that program. They have chosen not to release the financials of their program to the public. Point number 2, drinkable water. Given the amount of words surrounding this issue and the authority's application to the state of New York, one would think that Orient, and in particular Browns Hills, has a water crisis of biblical proportions. Well, the truth is, we don't. Several of us, under the Freedom of Information Act, or Freedom of Information Law in the state of New York, got some data points out of the Suffolk County Health Department, and out of 180,000 data points, 8,000 of them are equal to the state mandated limits, which are actually tighter than the EPA, and the rest of them are actually less than the number of contaminants or the amount of contaminants you would expect. Okay. I will show you a water filter that I use when I'm in areas that have unsafe water, mostly in undeveloped countries. Prior to this, I used to get sick all the time, but this is a modern American-made water filter rated for septic conditions, down to a rhinovirus. Okay, 21. Yeah. This is 21st century technology in the 21st century. Okay. There are many techniques, and we've talked about that before.